Welcome back to Cody's Movie Cave. All right, what's up, guys? You doing pretty good? You doing all right? All right, for this one, we're going to go back a little bit. Not, way back there. It's just like a year or two. It's fairly new. Marvel. I want to say Phase 4, so it hadn't been too long because we're still in Phase 4. Um, but, I don't know. A lot of people have a lot of opinions on this movie, but I'm just going to kind of give you mine. And that movie is The Eternals. Can you see the box? Eternals, yeah. Huge cast. Supposed to have been a big movie. And, I get it. A lot of people didn't really care for it. I'm not saying I did like it or it was one of my favorite Marvel movies, but I will say that I don't think it was as bad as the critics let on. So let's just kind of set it up. If you don't know what the Eternals are, or is rather, it's a movie. The Eternals is about this group of ancient heroes that have been around since basically the dawn of civilization, and they have sort of not really got involved with things, but just kind of helped out here and there, watched over, I guess you might say, since existence. And so yeah, it kind of gets you go through history with them. They live forever, and it's a big cast. This movie was huge as far as the cast went, for it not to be like an Avengers movie or a big ensemble like that. You got Angelina Jolie, you got Richard Madden from Game of Thrones. Just a lot of people in this movie. Salma Hayek. Geez, tons of folks. But, it's about this ancient group of hero beings, if you will. Anyway, not going to spoil too much about the movie itself. But, actually, come back to the cast. There was another Game of Thrones actor in this movie, Kit Harington, Jon Snow. So there's a nice little Game of Thrones reunion right there between Richard Madden and Kit Harington. That was pretty cool. But anyway, so yeah, some great twists in this movie that you more or less see them coming. You kind of seen it coming, but you appreciate it still. It's to do with one of the lead characters, but I won't divulge into it if you hadn't seen it. Just know that it's got a pretty good twist, okay? So yeah, the Eternals, I feel like, it was based on a Marvel comic property that is not as well known or as popular as like Iron Man, Spider-Man, Thor, any of the big folks, but still a very big property, but just not as well known. That being said, the movie itself does drag. I feel like it drags on a little while. Maybe it went a little too long. But there is some pretty cool action in this movie, I must say. Some pretty cool scenes. And yeah, I just don't feel like it was as bad as people let on. It was not great, okay? By no stretch of the imagination was this movie great. Like Avengers or Iron Man or any of the big ones. But I don't think it was as bad as people let on. To me, it did not feel like a Marvel movie. You know how a Marvel movie just has a certain feel, right? A certain element, a certain vibe. It's colorful, it's bright, it's witty. And this movie didn't really feel like that. It didn't really have the whole Marvel vibe. It's not a bad thing, but it's not a good thing either, I don't know. Maybe they were trying to go a different direction, but it just didn't work out. Will we see the Eternals again? Oh, I'm sure we will. See at least one or two of them along the lines here and there. Now, we might not get a sure enough blown out sequel, and they're still talking about that, but I don't know. I just don't expect to see any of that anytime soon. With the Disney D23 Expo, there was no talk whatsoever about any of the Eternals. So, I don't know, kind of left in limbo. Kind of want to know what happened to them, you know. The movie kind of leaves it in like of a cliffhanger, so you kind of want to know what happens. Anyway, big cast, pretty big action, goes on a little too long, but with all that said, it's okay. There was worse properties in Phase 4. Let's all be honest, okay? There was worse movies in Phase 4 than The Eternals. Was Eternals Phase 4? I do believe so. I don't quote me on that, but I believe so. Was it better than Thor Love and Thunder? I might get a lot of boos on this, but yes, it was. Eternals was better than Thor Love and Thunder. Okay. Was it as good, or was it better than Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness? It's pretty close. Pretty close. You know, they're about on the same, you know, average there. But like I said, pretty good. There's some good characterization in this movie that, if had been done a little bit better and fleshed out a little more, would have been good. For me, the thing that stood out the most that I really did enjoy was the twist. Now, like I said earlier, I'm not trying to repeat myself, but the twist you do see coming along the lines, but it's one that just, it's like it works, you know, it works for some reason. And with that being said, you know, I think it's decent. It's a decent movie. But yeah, so me and little Ikaris here, you know, he's a guy from the Eternals, one of the leaders here. Me and little Ikaris, we give it a head bob. Yeah, sure. Is it spectacular? No. Well, get it right, Ikaris. No. But it's a good watch, right? Yeah, okay. All right, with that said, here in the cave, we got a saying. And can't leave you without it. This has been my opinion. It might be an unpopular one on this one, but this was my opinion. And opinions are like butts. Everybody's got one. You know the rest, folks. You know the rest.
5 years ago, Thanos erased half of the population of the universe. But the people of this planet brought everyone back with a snap of a finger. The sudden return of the population provided the necessary energy for the emergence to begin.
How long do we have?
7 days.
We're Eternals. We came here 7,000 years ago to protect humans from the deviants.
Why didn't you guys help fight Thanos? Or any war, or all the other terrible things throughout history?
We were instructed not to interfere in any human conflicts unless deviants are involved.
By who?
We need to find the others.
I haven't seen some of them for centuries.
Hi.
Hello.
This is what the end of the world looks like. At least we have front row seats.
You know what's never saved the planet? Your sarcasm.
We have loved these people since the day we arrived. When you love something, you protect it.
You can't protect. Any of them.
built the perfect safe house. I mean, what's this even made of? Vibranium?
Fall collection. IKEA.